Hello everybody, my name is Pooks, and welcome to the first installment of what I'm calling the Pooks Cast. Today I'm joined with my good friend, special guest, and co-host CharVR.
Hello.
Now, this type of show is an unscripted news-type podcast show where we'll be going over interesting VR-related news and topics along with questions and comments that you guys have posed to me on Discord. If you'd like to ask us a question or pose a comment, you can go over to my Discord link in the description below, and we might take a look at it next episode. In terms of episode schedule, I'm thinking hopefully once a month to start out, and maybe some live episodes in the future once I get things more streamlined. That's about it on the logistical side. Let's get into it. To start off, we're going to head over to Discord to look at some of the questions you asked in response to one of the prompts I gave you on my Discord server, Pooks Club. I asked all of my Discord members to respond and ask me questions and give me information on things they'd like to see talked about on this show in relation to VR and AR and virtual reality games and things like that. So we're going to head over to Discord and see what you guys were talking about. So, to start off, we have a question from Jim Taffer. Now, Jim Taffer is the architect of the wonderful room we're standing in now, so a shout out to him. His first question, he asked a few, was, what would your response be to someone saying that VR is dead? To start off, I'm going to throw this one over to Char to see if he has any thoughts on this.
Personally, I've been seeing all these articles recently about virtual reality, augmented reality being dead, and it really just can't be further from the truth. Now, virtual reality is nowhere near mainstream media, like news outlets and theater, but we're getting closer every year. CES, which was a big tech event, VR was very, very booming, as I'd like to say. There was so many people just lined up. They were having Beat Saber competitions. It was just great. And VR is certainly not dead. It's really just getting started.
Now, to add on to that, yeah, since Christmas just passed, I do know that the Oculus Quest was one of the largest selling electronic gifts this year. It was huge. They sold out immediately as soon as Black Friday deals hit. No stores could keep it on their shelves. So, in response, Jim, to the question, is VR dead, I would say, no, definitely not dead.
Oh, and the Valve Index is also sold out until February, I believe.
Yes, while not as popular as the Quest, the Valve Index is definitely selling much quicker than I think even Steam and Valve had prepared for. Which is always a good sign.
I'm very happy to see these things.
Yes, and while the Rift S isn't the greatest thing in the world, it is doing well in sales as well. As the Oculus Quest is being pushed, the Rift S is also being pushed as well. You're seeing more and more Rift users and Index users, and even Windows Mixed Reality, so I think that, yeah, virtual reality is definitely not dead, and it's going to continue to grow, and like any emerging technology, as it gets cheaper and more affordable and more available, it'll just continue to grow and grow. Next, over on Discord user Fozzie asked, what will be the next big VR hardware? They're, I guess, talking about the next peripherals, such as headsets or things to go with headsets. So I'm going to throw that again over to you.
I'm very excited. You've seen the news about the new haptic gloves. They they really do look amazing, and I'm very excited for those. The price, I will say, is very steep, but it is new technology, so I really do understand that. If you can afford it, props to you. I recommend it. And if we're talking about headsets, I don't think we're going to be seeing a new headset till at the earliest late 2020. I don't expect to see any new headsets anytime soon.
I know in terms of new technology I know is coming out, I know the Oculus Quest just launched their finger tracking, which is more of a software thing, but I think that opens a lot of doors to new types of hardware to be integrated with different sensors. So I'm excited to see more body tracked things instead of having to have sensors and controllers and things all strapped to your body would just track your movements. I'm excited to see what hardware will incorporate that kind of technology.
Yeah, speaking of like body tracking, Vive just released their new like leg trackers, arm trackers with like new battery packs in them. I'm sorry, I forgot the word. new battery packs in them for longer life. I don't personally own a 5. I'm on the PlayStation VR, but I'm very envious. They look really nice. They sound like they're gonna work great.
Yeah, I haven't actually been keeping up with all that, but that sounds very interesting. I know
I
there are some
watched Thrill
startup.
Seekers 2 Days New Day. I watched Thrill
Hmm?
Seekers Tuesday Newsday. That's how I learned about it.
Anyways, I know there are some startup companies working on omnidirectional treadmills and haptic vests and things like that. So, as definitely since virtual reality is still in its infancy, I'm sure we'll see some really cool and neat technology coming out very soon. I think by the end of 2020, we'll see the next big advancement either out or announced. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Continuing over on Discord user Chrono asks, what was the most interesting innovation in virtual reality to you? So I'm gonna start this one off actually and saying, thus far, in my opinion, the biggest innovation in virtual reality, as I mentioned earlier, is Quest's finger tracking. As someone who really likes that whole idea of being able to track your body without having to hold controllers or strap sensors to you, I think that opens up a huge world of possibilities with tracking individual fingers and picking things up. I know the Valve Index can track fingers, which is really neat, and the Oculus Rift S has been teased that it's going to get finger tracking as well. So I'm really excited for all of that, but I want to toss this over to Char.
I don't really think there's ever been like the best for me. Like if you ask me what my favorite thing about VR is, I just start going down an entire list. Everything in virtual reality is so amazing to me that I really don't have a favorite. But like you said, the Quest hand tracking, that has opened so many possibilities. And I believe if and when we get an Oculus Quest 2, I believe we're gonna have more than we even currently have. So yeah,
Yeah,
take that as you.
In terms of an Oculus Quest 2, I know this is unrelated. I know they're working on another PC controlled headset. I don't have any details on that. I haven't done prior research, but I know it's been in the works, so I'm excited for that and to see what hardware they'll incorporate because they didn't really focus too much on the Oculus Rift S. They more focused all their manpower into the Quest and making it portable, and it turned out really great. And for an introduction to VR, it's a great piece of hardware. And I know tons of friends who have come over to my house and used my virtual reality headset and said, "Wow, I really want this," and then went out and bought an Oculus Quest and are now experiencing virtual reality without having to have all the expensive computer and hardware and stuff like that. So unrelated, but
Yeah.
still.
I did notice that Oculus Connect 6, the Rift S was mentioned about twice. Yeah, so
Yeah,
they're definitely heavily focusing on the Quest, and I don't blame them. It's a revolutionary piece of technology when it comes to virtual reality. So,
yeah. The
yeah.
Quest, the Rift S is neat because it features the inside out tracking, which I do like. I don't like having the sensors up. It's nice having everything contained, but in terms of a step forward from the previous Rift, yeah, I don't think it's quite there yet. But
And I have heard of a lot of Oculus Rift S issues. So,
well, I mean, that is true. I've heard of issues too. I personally have had no issues. Mine has worked fine immediately from install to now, but it just seems like it's a touchy system. Some people it works
mm,
great. For other people, they just can't seem to get their units working and they have to be returned and replaced and but who knows, just luck of the draw, I guess.
guess so.
We're going to move on to one of the last Discord questions that we were asked today. This question comes from Werewolf. He asks, this isn't exactly a discussion question, but maybe point out some smaller virtual reality games that most people might not know about that you find interesting or things like that. Maybe shout out some indie developers or get some games recognized. And I think that is a great question because as someone on PC and someone who has been doing YouTube now for a bit and got a little bit of recognition, some indie developers have come to me and asked me to review their products and things like that. So I quite like this question, but I'm going to
Mm.
save my comments till the end and turn this over to Char first.
Now, I am a smaller YouTuber. I only have around 500 subs, but I haven't, and someone who doesn't check their email. I don't know if I've been approached by companies, but A smaller game that I really do want to shout out is, mm, I wouldn't say smaller, they're definitely growing, but a Township Tale, I really want to see that like explode. I really do. It looks like such an amazing game.
Now, yeah, A Township Tale is a game I've been told about, actually. I haven't ever played it, but tons of people have recommended it to me and said that it's a really, really great game.
Hmm.
Now, for me, I know... Oh, no, keep going. Didn't mean to interrupt.
I had a thought, but it cut off. Yep, keep going.
Okay, well, anyway, for me, there are some great small indie games that I would love to spotlight. First off would be Space Force Simulator, which I have done a video on this channel previously. Now, Space Force Simulator contacted me, about 5 months ago. I helped them completely design their Discord server, and I helped with promotional things. And it's a little game where you pick up tools in zero gravity and try and fix your space station, and they're the timer, and you gotta work with other people and throw your tools back and forth, and it's just a fun, crazy little game. Unfortunately, development has kind of slowed down for a bit. I'm still in contact with the developers, but it's a game that I'm really excited for to get finished, because I think it'll be a neat arcade-style, quick little game. You just jump in, play around with your friends. Another game that I am quite a fan of, and I've been playing a lot of recently, is Dash Dash World. Now, I know Jay on Rec Room, who is another popular Rec Room YouTuber, did a video on Dash Dash World. I'm looking to do one myself. Char, I don't know if you've seen anything about the game?
I've been told about it. I've never played it or watched any videos on it, sadly.
So, Dash Dash World is a kart-style game, similar to popular games like Mario Kart, and you drive around in your cart, you pick up power-ups, and you can use them to slow down your opponents or gain an advantage. And the art style is great, and it's just a fun, cute little arcade-style racer. And I was invited to join the community about a month ago, and I just pick it up and sit down and play it for 20-30 minutes, and it's just a ton of fun, great little racing game. And I hope their community is getting quite big, so I'm hoping that they're going to do okay. I know another game is Touring Carts that's similar, which is more indie, and I know people like Soulfox Gaming have spotlighted that. I haven't been invited to Touring Carts yet, so if anyone's watching. I'm kidding. Anyways, yeah, those are the two indie games that I'm most looking forward to getting up and running and getting a foothold within the virtual reality community. So yeah, I'm excited to see what those developers can bring in many more, because I know there's tons of small little indie devs that are building neat experiences in virtual reality all the time.
That second game you mentioned, Dash Dash Carts, was it?
Yes.
That sounds a lot of fun. I'm going to have to try it when I get on PC.
Yeah, it's Dash Dash World. Since we're talking about it, I will have information on it in the description below, so make sure to check that out. I will have information on all the games that we just talked about, so check in the description below. But yes, it's a Dash Dash World, just to correct the title, not Dash Dash Carts.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Moving on. Well, I would like to thank all of you for tuning in to the first episode of the Pooks cast. This was a test episode, sort of like a pilot. I don't know, the format might change, how we do things might change. I'm definitely going to try and get a different special guest and switch things up so you can meet and experience answers from different people. If you would like to possibly be a part of the Pooks cast, you can apply and check out on my Discord. All the information's on there, link in the description. I would like to personally thank Char for being my test subject and helping out with the first Pooks cast, because this was all unscripted, and he had no idea what I was going to ask him. He didn't know any of the questions beforehand, so I'd like to thank him, and I'd like to thank all of you for watching. Remember, don't forget to subscribe and check out all my socials, linked in the description. You can check out CharVR, he's on YouTube as well. I'll probably post his YouTube channel in the description below. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, do all of that, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!